Welcome to Heather's Healthy Cuisine. We're going to be doing a crock pot meal today. And everybody loves crock pot meals. They're so easy and they're great to do really any time of the year, whether it's hot or cold outside. So we're going to start with the veggies. And this is an enchilada casserole, but without the tortillas. So I've got an onion already peeled, about medium size. Chop that up, dice it. You could use any color of onion because you're really not going to be able to see this. It's going to be covered with sauce. So we'll get that chopped up. So the great thing about this recipe, I got this originally years ago by ohsheglows.com. You're welcome to check out her blog. She has a lot of vegan stuff, and I am personally not vegan, but she has some really great things. So her recipe really has mainly the quinoa in it, some broth, and then she does a few veggies, but the main thing about her recipe was to do your own enchilada sauce, which I'll show you. So I have done a lot of different things over the years with this, and basically I change whatever veggies I'm going to put in it each time. So I always put onion in there to add some bulk. And today you'll see I've got this bok choy, and all the leaves are gone because I used it the other night in a soup recipe. So I just have the stalks left and I'm just going to use them up. They're going to add not really any flavor. They're just going to add nutrition and also bulk to this recipe, and you're really not even going to taste it. And so you could add in zucchini, eggplant, leeks, any type of extra veggies, half the veggies that you have sitting around in your fridge that before they go bad, celery, carrots even. If you have some tomatoes that are a little bit mushy from your garden, you could add also some buttermilk squash, sweet potatoes, any vegetables you can put in here. So here's all my bok choy left over from the other night. We'll put that in there. Bok choy is just a little bit bitter, so that'll be a good contrast with the sweet bell peppers, which is the third veggie that we're gonna add. And you can cut up fresh bell pepper, but I just bought these bell pepper strips in the frozen section. They're already done, and it's so easy to pour these in. And it'll give a little bit more color in there as well. So now that we've got all of our veggies in there, I'm gonna add our meat. And I have each of these things of ground beef are just a little bit over a pound. You can also use ground turkey, of course, ground chicken. And if you don't want to add any meat to this recipe, this is a great vegetarian dish too, because the quinoa we're gonna add in there has some protein in there. And as you know, quinoa is really considered a seed more than a grain. Now we're gonna add the sauce. So we're gonna make our own enchilada sauce basically out of tomato paste and spices. A regular enchilada sauce is gonna have a lot of preservatives in it, and sometimes different brands are made with sugar. So this is a really good way to make enchilada sauce, and I actually like the flavor of this so much better. There's a weird taste sometimes in enchilada sauces that you buy. So if you're using just 1 pound of meat, you can probably just use one of these 6-ounce jars of tomato paste. But since I've got a couple pounds of beef here, I'm going to use a couple of jars. So this recipe goes for big family. You can half it if it's just a couple people in your family. This is going to be some great leftovers for you. So we've got the tomato paste in there, and then the spices we're going to put is cumin, and I just kind of dump it in there, but It's probably about 3 tablespoons of cumin and about 3 tablespoons of coriander. And then about 2 tablespoons of chili pepper. So basically that type of flavoring you'd put in a chili, and then garlic powder is about 2 tablespoons. Okay, then we're gonna add quinoa. And I just got the normal color of quinoa, but they also have tricolor. 1 cup, put in the crock pot, and then I'm gonna add about 3 cups of agua in our crock pot. You can also add broth or bone broth for some extra nutrition in there. And that is it. And so I'm gonna stir this all up, put the lid on, put it on high for 4 to 6 hours, and I'll show you how it looks like at the end and how we're gonna finish this off. Let's see how our enchilada casserole in the crock pot turned out. Looks great. I'm gonna stir everything together. You can see the veggies in there. Quinoa, tomato sauce that turned into our enchilada sauce. You're welcome to add more water if you want it to be a little bit thinner. Just kind of depends on how soupy you want it, but break up all the meat in there. I am gonna add some sea salt in there. I wanna add that at the last minute to bring out that flavor and also so that it actually cooks better. Whenever you have tomato products in a soup that's gonna be on the stove for a while or in the crock pot, you wanna add your salt at the last minute, by the way. Something about the tomato makes it not cook as well if there's salt. Okay, so just stir that up, and then how we're gonna serve it is you can look at the tortilla chips I found. This brand, Sun Harvest Organic White Corn Tortilla Chips. It's just kind of an off-brand, but they're not too bad. What you wanna look for is no trans fat. That's what you're looking for in your chips. And we're just gonna serve a few on the side. Since this is so kind of soupy, we're gonna add some crunch. But the great thing about not having any trans fat is basically hydrogenated fat. It's where they take a nice healthy fat and pump it full of hydrogen in a factory, and we don't want that. That's really gross. So as long as it doesn't have trans fat, this just has corn and sunflower oil and salt is all these chips have. So how you're gonna serve this is you're gonna scoop your stuff into a bowl. Then we're gonna add on some avocado chunks. And then sour cream. I've used this before in other segments. This Daisy brand's really good. Full fat sour cream. All it is just pure cream. That's all it is. Dollop of that. That's some good flavor. And then I've got some fresh cilantro to get some more color on there. And then I'll wash my hands. We don't want too many chips going on, so we'll just serve a few on the side. And just place them on the edges so you don't do overboard on the chips. And that's how it looks, our little enchilada casserole. And it will only get better as the days go by. If you have some little bit of leftovers there, will be great. And enjoy this enchilada casserole in your crock pot. Bon appetit.